Have you ever spotted a trend on social media that seems made for you? Every time it pops up, it has millions of views, millions of likes, and you think, oh my gosh, this is it. This is my ticket to virality. So you jump on the trend, you share the post, and crickets. Now, I promise you, this is a universal experience. The good news is that by the end of today's video, you will know not only which trends you should actually be jumping on, but also how to spot them early, how to adapt them to your content, and how to actually use them to get some serious views. So if that sounds like something of interest, which I'm willing to bet it does, you're in the right place. By the way, this video is sponsored by Riverside, more on them later. Before we dive into the tips and tricks, we need to talk about why jumping on trends is effective. The reason why people usually want to jump on social media trends is because it seems like it's their ticket to virality. So what does it actually mean to go viral? Viral content is content that's defined as going beyond your audience base. So if you've got 1,000 followers, in order for your content to go viral, you need it to be shown to more than 1,000 people. Now, when this happens, it usually triggers a lot of growth. Let's take one of my videos, for example. This video received 448,000 views, and as a result of those views, I gained 14,981 new followers. A lot of people. Ironically, that video was about trends. So if you weren't sold on me being the person to teach you this yet, hopefully you are now. Now, in order for you to create content like that post that goes beyond your follower base and therefore helps you grow, you need to create content that social media algorithms see as engagement worthy. I actually have multiple videos where I break down how algorithms work. I will link to them all below. But for the purpose of this video, what you need to know is the more engagement you're able to get shortly after you post your content on social media, the more likely it is to go viral and to appear on the For You page on TikTok, the Explore page on Instagram, the Browse page on YouTube, etc. Mojo Jojo. That's her full name, by the way, after the evil monkey in Powerpuff Girls. That's how much my dog trusts me. She was just ready to do that trustful with me out of nowhere. Now, there is a framework that you can refer back to when it comes to creating viral content. The key to viral content is to create content that is shareable. The more people who share it, the more people who see it, but also the better standing you have with those social media algorithms, because algorithms love a good share. So the framework that you can use to try and get more saves through your content, and this is for any content that you want to go viral, even if it's not trending, okay? Really delivering on the good stuff today. The framework is called the STEPS framework, and the purpose of it is to explain why people share content. If you understand why people share the content, it's easier for you to create content that's shareable. So the S stands for social currency. So this is when people share content because it makes them look smarter, right? Or like early to a trend, or like they're really in the know. The T stands for triggers. So these are things that are related to your daily cues or daily habits. It's stuff that's always front of mind and therefore always feels relevant for you to share. The E stands for emotions. So this is content that makes you feel happy or sad or angry. That's more likely to be shared. P is practical value. So this is useful content. This is usually the driver that I try to focus on in order to get you guys to share my content. I try and teach something valuable, so valuable in fact, that you feel like you need to share it with your friends or your colleagues. Hint, hint, please share this video. And the final S stands for stories. So this is when it's embedded in a story or an experience that people want to share and spread the word of. If you pick one of those steps from that framework to focus on your next piece of content, you're going to increase the chances of that content being shared and therefore it going viral. Before we dive into the world of trends, how to spot them, how to utilize them, I do want to share a tool with you which is going to help you create trending content super quickly. This tool is called Riverside, and it's going to be your best friend when it comes to editing your viral or your trending content. Now on the screen, you're going to see a sneak peek into one of my studios on Riverside. This is my demo account that I love to use just to show you how Riverside works. The main feature I want to talk to you about today is their co-creator feature. So as you can see on the right-hand side, there's a chat bot which appears. This is essentially your right-hand person, right? Your wingman for creating all your social media content. It's there to help you edit amazing content, but also turn that content and repurpose it into a multitude of other things, right? So one of the first things that I recommend you do when you're using co-creator is to click on the personalize button, because this allows you to make the co-creator yours. So you can teach the co-creator about yourself so that when you use it, its outputs are more relevant to you. So for example, it asks you which tone fits you best. So I'm going to say thought leader. And then here it's drafted what that would mean for your tone of voice. And you can go ahead and edit that as well. Then you can also give additional information into what your content is usually about, just to give it a bit more context. I'm going to click save. And then once that's done, the co-creator is ready for me to use. What you can immediately see is giving you some suggestions on what it can do for you. And it's doing this based off of the video that I currently have up. Straight away, it's going to help me improve the sound quality of my video footage. Very important if you're trying to create content that's viral, because no social media platform is going to make your video go viral if the sound quality is bad. So go ahead and click that. Okay, so now it's telling me that it's working on the audio quality in the background, and it suggested that maybe we add some captions whilst we wait. So I'm going to say, yeah. Thank you. I mean, I should have said yes, please. When the robots take over, they're not going to like me very much, are they? Okay, it's going to add some captions to my clip. Can you see? And then it's asking me if I want to make further improvements, but I'm actually pretty happy with the captions it's just created for me. I'm just going to move those down. I'm going to click on the suggestions just in case there's anything else that I want to add. Remove fluff, pauses, and filler words. One of my favorite things to do. This really helps the pacing of your videos, keeps them moving at a really good tempo. So here we go. Love it when it says this. There's no fluff in your video because it's flawless. Congratulations. No, it's because I've already edited it a bit. So it's saying there's no fluff in it or pauses to remove. It says it can remove the filler words to make it sound more unprofessional, and it's going to do that for me now. So whilst I don't have any fluff or pauses, there are some filler words, unfortunately. So in a few minutes, and I think one click and one word, I mean, I didn't do much, did I? My co-creator has enhanced the quality of my audio, added captions to my video, which I'll play now so you can see them, and has removed the filler words from my video so that it has a really great pace. So imagine what you could do if you started to use Riverside's co-creator feature. If you want to get started with Riverside, head to the link in my description, and don't forget to use code Jade Beason when you're upgrading your plan to get 15% off. Thank me later. Okay, we've spoken about how to go viral. I've even shared a tool with you to help you go viral. Now let's talk about the big T word, trends, specifically what they are and how you should be using them. Now, trends are essentially the cheat code to virality. Whilst I've given you a framework earlier that's going to help you, if you really want to speed up the process and go viral quickly as possible, trends are usually the best way to do that. The reason why is because trends come with preloaded attention, which means people are already engaging in that trend. They're already engaging in that audio, in that style of storytelling, whatever it is that's the core of that trend, people already love it, which massively increases your chances of getting your version of that trend off the ground. In addition to this, you're making the algorithm's jobs a lot easier when you are creating content that is repetitive and follows a similar pattern to other content that has already performed well. If you put yourself in the algorithm's shoes, it's looking at a huge suite of content in one go. If it can identify that a lot of content using that audio is blowing up, the chances of it spotting your content as a potential future viral video is significantly increased. Trends essentially mean that you're not starting from zero because you're plugging into the existing momentum. Last but certainly not least, it kind of levels the playing field. Don't get me wrong, if you've got a big audience and you jump on a trend, you're significantly more likely for that piece of content to go off. However, creators with smaller audiences can also experience virality off the back of jumping off a trend. Some might even say that it's easier to go viral off a trend when you're smaller than it is for you to go viral off of a separate, completely original piece of content. So, how do you actually jump on these trends? Well, the first thing you need to do is be able to spot a trend before it's oversaturated. A common mistake that people make is they jump on trends when actually they're kind of over. Timing is a huge part of creating trending content, right? So how do you go about doing that? First up, you need to scroll with intention and not passively. Now, this is a tough conversation to have because I'm essentially about to tell you to doom scroll, but I want you to do it in a productive, intentional way. For example, I will sometimes set a timer for myself and give myself 30 minutes to scroll, but the purpose of the scroll is to conduct some research. Maybe it's for myself, maybe it's for a client, and just get familiar with what content, what audio, what style, what trends are doing well right now in relation to my niche or my client's niche. So I will hop on Instagram, for example, I'll type in a search word that is relevant to me or my client, and I'll just browse through the content that appears for a little while, right? Now, this is the important part. If I spot the same joke, the same format, the same structure in a video, maybe people are merging two video clips together and it's the same video clip that everyone's using. Maybe people are using the same audio in all of their videos. Maybe people are telling stories but kicking off with the same hook or the same prompt. If I see that more than 3 times in that 30-minute sitting, I save it to a folder. Now, a few bonus things that you can look out for if you're struggling here, head to the comment section of a video that you think might be trending and just have a look at what people are saying. If you're seeing people say things like, oh my God, I want to try this, haha, I just saw so-and-so's version of this, and they've shared that comment within the last 24 hours, you might be onto something. Now, trends tend to peak around 7 to 14 days after its early adoption. Now, keyword there is early. So you know those first few people who literally start the trend? We're talking 7 to 14 days after they post their content. You want to be sharing your version, in my opinion, before the 7-day mark, which means that you need to be spotting these trends super early. A pro tip I can give you, in addition to your intentional scrolling and all the tips that I did just give you, is to follow some creators who are smaller than you but tend to experiment a lot with trends. A lot of the time, the smaller creators are more flexible, they experiment more, they adopt trends quicker, so they're usually ones to watch when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, so now you know how to spot a trend. How do you actually jump on a trend? In my opinion, this is the bit that no one really talks about. Step 1, identify the trend. We already just learned how to do that, so let's just fast forward to step 2. Step 2, save and reverse engineer. So once you've saved your video, head back into that folder, find the trend you're going to be reverse engineering, and jot down some notes about it. You want to be asking yourself, what part of the video do you think is trending? So what's that core part of the video that people seem to be doing repeatedly? Is it the hook? Is it the style? Is it the audio? What is it, right? Identify it, write it down. You also want to make note of any additional similarities that that trend seems to have across the board. So if we take this trend, for example, this is one of my favorites. It involves two people, and one of those people are pretending to be on a green screen and just be chatting crap about the person behind them. Now, the trend here is clearly that there's one person pretending to be doing a green screen and someone else doing something in the background. But that isn't where it finishes. There are additional similarities between all of the videos that use this trend. For example, usually the person in the background is doing something silly or just doing something badly. So the person pretending to do a green screen is usually making fun of them. In addition to this, around 6 or 7 seconds in, the person in the back notices and responds to the person pretending to do the green screen. Maybe they laugh at them, maybe they tap them on the shoulder, like something like that. There's some kind of interaction there. If you miss out those 2 points, then you're not going to nail the trend. So it's important that you make note of all the similarities so that you're able to hit the mark. Step 3, adapt to your niche. This is super important because at the end of the day, you don't want to go viral for the sake of going viral. You want to go viral with content that's trending, but that is still related to you, who you are, your values, your audience, etc. This is what allows you to go viral the right way. It will allow you to reach your desired audience and also attract your desired audience as well. So for this to work, you're going to want to change a few elements of the video. Now, don't change the elements that we just identified because we've already said that we need those in order to really do the trend properly, but you can change the other bits. So in the example I just used, let's say you're a dancer. So maybe you and your friend do this trend in a dancing studio and like your friend is dancing in the background, and that's how you relate it to you and your niche and who you are as a person, right? Step 4, post quickly and learn. Remember, when it comes to trending content, speed matters more than perfection. You need to spot the trend and get on the trend pretty much as quickly as you can in order for you to get the most value from the trend. The key here is to keep an eye on how it's performing. And if you feel like it's working, and by the way, if you're wondering how do you know if it's working, you want to keep a lookout for how much engagement you're getting and how that compares to your previous posts. If you're getting a lot of engagement in a far shorter amount of time, that's a sign that it's potentially going to go viral. And when you spot that, redo it. Do another version of the trend that still aligns to your niche and keep on doing it as much as you want to really make the most of that trend. And that is how you jump on trends. Now, if you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It is my full plan to locking in and becoming a content creator in 2026. Don't forget that if you want to get started with Riverside, you can head to the link in my description and use code Jade Beason to get 15% off when you upgrade your plan. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next one.